woman is. A woman is a helpmate, whether it's a wife or any other thing. And it's getting worse now because everybody say when I'm talking you should be quiet. No. And I always tell the opposite sex, you don't earn respect. You don't deserve respect, you earn it. So I always tell people that being a woman, I think I would rather be a woman than be a man. Oh yes. And that's why I keep telling girl children that, let me tell you that you're a woman, you're special. And I want us to keep telling them this kind of thing. You see, this month is going to be a fun month. But like they say, knowledge is power. If you don't let the girl child know that she's important to society, who else is going to tell them?
You know, a lot of times when we talk about women's celebration, something it's all about, you know, carrying their roses as a bunch on our head, having a good time and all of that. I think very importantly, it's a time to create awareness, you know, in the girl child, in the adults, women, that we must be heard. You know, a lot of times I was going through something. Somebody said when a woman is talking, she's arrogant. When she's trying to get things done well, she's arrogant, she's bossy. But for the same character, the same attitude, a man is just being assertive. Yeah. And I'm like, what's going on? You know. So meanwhile, I keep saying, if you go back to the home front, the men drop the money on the table and perhaps go away for those who can anyway. The women, the women are the one really ruling the house. How do we begin to make our girl child to understand that their voice is the power to change the family, to change the home?
I think for me, I believe in self-esteem. One of the easiest ways to build a child to become a productive woman, a productive member of society, is to build her self-esteem. I've had people who tell me that as children, their mothers will say, well, this is how you do in your husband's house, small thing is this. And when you make a child grow up to believe that all she can be is a wife. And that is it. Wife of social person. But that's all. I think it's demeaning to the gender. Raise daughters who know that they are capable of anything in the world. They are going to play many roles. As wife, as mother, as friend, as daughter, as inventors, as pilots. Because I tell people, look, there are women who will never marry. I have friends who have never married. And some people will die and will still not marry. So if you say your whole life is going to be hinged on being married, what if you don't get married? The day my daughter said, they did something, I said, when I get married, I was disappointed, to be honest. I swear to God, I was disappointed because I've been raising her to become this amazing person who is going to change the world, who is going to contribute to Nigeria and the world. I'm not saying, of course I want my daughter to get married. But at 12, I want her to think of doing great things. Yes.
That's not what you should be looking forward to.
And then the sad part of it was she was saying rich man. I said, oh God in heaven.
It reminds me of a Vox Pop they did in secondary school girls. And they were asking them, what would you like to be in the future? That one said, I want to be first lady, governor's wife. And I'm like, what happens to be
breaks my heart.
An accountant? What happened to be a
what
lawyer?
Happens to being governor?
What happens to being governor? So you can have the first one.
Then you can have governor's husband.
Yes. Let's let him.
What's the question? Oh, I'm just contributing.
Just go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think that mothers should, or even parents, because it takes, if you're lucky enough to be in a two-parent home, parenting should not be on only one person's shoulders, as is usually the case in many homes. There's this thing that, I don't know, maybe it's because we carry for 9 months. It's almost as if you are the person, the mother is the primary person who is responsible for shaping that child. That should not be the case. I think it's a two-man job, or a man-woman job, as the case may be. And it is important to be able to get your kids to a place where they are able to talk to you reasonably freely.
True.
I think it is important to be able to sit down and gist with your kids from time to time.
Yeah. True.
Most of us have demanding schedules. I cannot run away from that. There are times you come home, you feel knackered, you feel as if somebody beat you up. the last thing you want to do is sit around and socialize. So I'm not saying these are not conversations that should last hours and happen every day. No. You'd be shocked what a very productive 30-minute conversation with your child can bring out. You could both sit down to watch a movie.
I was just going to mention that.
And as that movie is unfolding and you people are talking, you begin to assess that child's mindset. And if the mindset is flawed, because you're not the only person that will raise your child. Your child is going to into a social environment, and the values of that social environment will impact that child, whether you like it or not. So it goes beyond telling the child this, to trying to know what is going on in that. I use the term child loosely here, offspring. I'm not talking necessarily about minors. The picking where you born. It could be of any age. Just try to understand the person's mindset and then have conversations around that. Try to understand where that mindset is coming from, why the person feels that way. Share your own views and try to be persuasive about it if you feel that your child is coming from a wrong place. You understand? So we grew up in a generation where, for the most part, children were seen and not heard. Sometimes you couldn't even ask questions. You would be seen as being forward or naughty or things like that, or rude. You couldn't even ask questions. But I think that if there are parents that are still holding on to that style of parenting, you are going to alienate your kids, and particularly your daughters. And daughters get preyed upon.
True.
I'm sure we know this. It's not even something that is peculiar to Nigeria. It is a global issue. So as parents, you need to find a way to break down the barriers that prevent you from having healthy conversations, particularly with your daughters.
Anyway, you know, when you were talking, I was smiling because, incidentally, I grew up in a completely different scenario. I was one of those that will always go in and chat with my daddy's friends, you know, and they often told me, slow down, but my father would say, let her talk, you know. So growing up, I had a lot of conversation with elders, and I know how positively it impacted on me because I learned a whole lot about adulthood while I was still underage, a minor.
In fact, what I said does not even apply to me. I'm just
Yes, I know.
No, I want to correct something. I grew up in a home that had something similar to what you're describing. In my own case, if my father gave me an instruction and I didn't try to find out more about it, he would call me and say, I have never asked you to do this. Today I told you to do it, and you didn't even ask me why. So I grew up in a home with a father who would demand that I should ask questions. Unfortunately, bringing that into the society we live in, I received a lot of pushback. I'm called argumentative, I'm called rude, I'm called arrogant.
It goes back to what I said earlier.
I was schooled by a father who demanded I ask questions and demand answers. And for the most part, that was because he would give me instructions and tell me why he wanted me to do something. So on those occasions when he didn't follow up with a why, he would expect me to ask, Daddy, why did you ask me to do? But I use that approach today, and people are like, oh, you know, you're so rude. You always want to have the last word. No.
You must speak. And, you know, funny enough, just like me, I was raised. My mother raised me to stand for what is right and what I believe in, even if it means standing alone. So I was raised to have a voice to speak. So for me, to be honest, when I meet other women who talk about, you know, when they're told not to talk, I find it hard to, to understand, because I was raised to speak. Not just for myself. When I see something that is wrong, and affect another person, it's my duty to correct it.
Wrong to somebody in my presence.
But you see, I think all of us are the same. All of us sitting here are the same. But mine was even my father. Because I always used to wonder, why do you people like to bring down the girl child? You don't talk, the man is right, whether he's wrong, he's right, is this, is that. My father said, no, stand for what you believe in. If it's the last thing, stand. If people want to leave you or don't want to be friends with you, let them go. Because this is what you stand for, so be it. What's the big deal? If you come back home, and that's why most of the time he used to quote some certain things in the Bible. You know, he always used to tell me. And I think that is why I'm living a very beautiful life, like you said.
Exactly.
Some people might not get married. And I always tell a girl child, it's good to get married. All my siblings are married. But don't make it your, you know, I told somebody, getting married is not going to take you to heaven.
Yeah,
It's true.
So even take you to hell.
Well,
Exactly.
but the point here is the girl children should go past, I'm going to be married. See, I believe that a girl child should fight for what she believes in, whether society accepts it or not.
Regarding marriage, I always tell my daughters that marriage is good only when you meet the right person for you.
True.
If you don't meet the right person for you, try
could be
and
hell on
live
earth.
a single healthy life. Yes, because one of the fastest ways to end up in an early grave is being yoked to the wrong person.
Yeah, a toxic marriage.
You know, at the fear of not sounding as if we're encouraging people to stay single, St. Paul said it.
Yes.
That if you cannot, you know, stay single, go and marry. But then, for him, he thinks it's actually better to be single because
Exactly.
it gives you an opportunity to ventilate peace of mind and then to worship God the way you should. So I know earlier on when we started, I tried to show us the NTA Women's Party. Director, do you have it now? I want to show them. Let's see it as it's rolling. I want to show them what the men did. Okay, that was the party. The women actually had fun.
Crush?
And yes, we did. We did fun. In fact, we were celebrating ourselves. Everybody was surprised. There was nothing to celebrate. And we just say, thank God it is us. That's our EDP dancing.
Yeah.
You see, everybody was a babe that day. So it was fun. And the men tried to come in by all means. You can see one decided to do camera work. In fact, the one that blew my mind was a man who walked in wearing veil. Veil.
A veil?
Yes, and I asked, he said his name is Olanatu, you know. He had to come in because we say men should not come in. He had to wear a veil. Oh, wow. It's okay. So
It's always good to see
then
women.
I want to, you know, jump into the next segment of our discussion with the little story I was given, you know, this morning as I came. Though I know the person, it was the man himself that called me up to, you know, share the story because he saw a promo. He said that when he gave birth, or when the wife gave birth, he's a father. They had 5 girls and no boy. And that he told the wife, he kept threatening the wife to go with the kids. You know, the woman never left. Now, instead
He
of
kept threatening
training,
to kick her out of the
yes,
marriage.
any small quarrel, say, leave my house with your children, with your bunch of useless girls.
Wow.
You know?
That's
So, and the man spent most of his wealth training his sister's boys, hoping that they are the ones to
Biggest
inherit him
mistake.
and take care of him. Incidentally, they all grew up. The girls were now the one taking care of him.
Yeah.
He recently turned 70. So he said for his 70th birthday, his children gave him a key to a house.
Hey.
Oh.
The
And
same daughters?
Yes.
the same children,
The same
daughters.
daughters.
Gave him key to his house, new brown duplex, and a key to a Mercedes-Benz.
Okay.
So as he was, you know, being interviewed, that he could not help but cry. And he was, you know, talking, he said, if you have a girl child, train your girl child. That was all he could say. So that he's using this opportunity to ensure that people don't make the same mistakes he made. Train your girl child because they are treasure.
They're
And that
still
his
making the same
sister's
mistake.
children are not even anywhere around him. You know, they are busy fighting for the small thing he has left behind after training them. Meanwhile, his girl children are taking care of him full time. So I think that the girl child is a blessing, a treasure to all of us who have them. I have 3, so I'm very proud of myself. But then, let's go and find out.
I have 5.
You have 5? Devon, you're greedy.
Biological and non-biological.
Right. So I know that in making sure our voices are heard, it's important that the women, you know, are placed in places of decision making. One of them is our National Assembly. Let's get to join Ehi to find out the democratic dispensation in Nigeria so far. How has been the women participation? Ehi.
Florence Itagiwa, Daisy Denjuma, Nkechi Wog, Natasha Akpoti Udwa. What do these names have in common, you might ask? Well, stick around and you will find out.
Do solemnly swear
that I will be faithful.
that I will be faithful.
In our present democratic dispensation, which started in 1999, under the leadership of Evan Ewerem, our Senate chambers was overwhelmingly male. Out of 109 senators, only 3 women made it through. That is less than 3%. Talk about being outnumbered. Senator Florence Itagiwa, known affectionately as Mama Bakassi, was among these numbers. She became a people favorite due to her advocacy for the displaced people of the Bakassi Peninsula. She later became President Obasanjo's special advisor on National Assembly matters. Let me tell you about Stella Onmu from Delta South, a former teacher turned politician who also served during the Obasanjo's administration. She was the chief whip of the Senate and was not just there to make up the numbers. She was cracking the whip and making sure business got done. Daisy Danjuma, representing Edo South, was another notable female senator during this period. She used her office and presence to advocate for better healthcare services. With the Yaradua and Jonathan presidency, the Senate chambers witnessed a slight improvement in female senators' representation, with the likes of Grace Bent from Adamawa South, who made history as the first female senator from her state. Joy Emodi from Anambra North, who also served during the Yaradua Jonathan presidency, chaired the Senate Committee on Education. There was also Chris Anyawu from Imo East, a journalist who was imprisoned under Abacha's military regime. She brought her fighting spirit to the Senate and advocated for press freedom. Let's talk about Nkechi Wogu, who represented Abia Central during the Jonathan years and chaired the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance, and other financial institutions. She handled the oversight of Nigerian's banking sector during the global financial crisis. Now, that's what I call pressure. Biodun Olujimi from Ekiti South was one of the most vocal female senators under the Buhari Osibanjo presidency. She once served as Senate Minority Leader. In this 10th Assembly, under the leadership of Senator Godswill Akpabio, the Senate chambers include 4 female senators, which is still a small number, but they are boldly representing diverse regions. One of whom is Natasha Akpoti Udwa from Kogi Central, a new face in the chambers, who has had a hard-fought political journey to the Senate. Her electoral battles since inception alone could fill an entire episode of our show. But what is politics without drama?
Just before we return to the studio, here is a chat of our female representation at the Federal House from 1999 till date.
I'm shaking my head because I don't know. We are supposed to be going like this, but I see us going like this. And I'm asking why, because we have the number, we have the population. Is it Sarah Jibril kind of a thing?
Excuse me, women can't even support women.
That's what I said.
Yeah, so the thing here is basically is money. You must have money to do politics in Nigeria.
True.
If you don't have money, you can't do politics.
Very true.
And I think the other problem is the supposed godfathers are the ones that are churning in women who can run. And I think in Nigeria it's kind of difficult. Bringing you out has many crossroads. So sometimes, are you willing to do what the men do
effortlessly
to get to that position? So it's a big question.
What are the things men do other than campaign and?
Excuse me? I don't agree with you. It's not just campaigning. You see, to be a woman in Nigeria is such a difficult thing. Let's not pretend that stuff is happening. One, sorry to say, the juju, what do you call those things? You have to swear. You have to be in a cult. You have to.
Really?
Oh yes.
You have to be in a cult to be a politician.
Oh yes.
I've heard that thing.
Oh yes. I will never forget Ngige years ago.
Oh yeah, that was public.
That was it was public, and the thing here is that it's happening. The thing is that we pretend.
No, to be honest, Joy, it was not, Ngige matter was not occultic. It was basically he had to swear because, he was going to bankroll his campaign and get him elected. So
you had to swear.
That's the occult now.
That's the cult. You had to swear. They went to a shrine. You had to swear. And let me tell you, this thing is happening. You see, we had Ngige's own because he said it. There are so many governors, even people in positions, who have to swear.
There was one too about Theodoji or something.
Yes, Theodoji's own. Even, there's so many. Sometimes you shouldn't come out and start naming names. But
no, but these things played out in the public.
Yeah, you know, and all that.
It's not like you're revealing anybody's.
There are some times when you come out, it's as if you're the first person to have opened your mouth to say it. So now, sexual harassment. Yeah. Most of these women are married. So, excuse me, can you do those things?
Swear? They can swear?
No, not swearing.
Okay.
About, most of the time, you either have to, do certain things and you're married. Is it right? Is it wrong? Are you going to continue? What will your husband say if he hears? And all that. So, the society itself, it's very harsh. Because most of the time, it's even the women who you expect to support you that are going to downplay you. They are the ones that condemn you. They are the ones that say stuff about you. So the thing here is that if the woman can't support a woman, is it a man that is going to support her? Definitely no.
One of the things I know happens in politics is I'm not a politician, but I've often heard some women, they say, I can't do the midnight meetings. Yeah. And I'm wondering, why must the meetings always be in the night? But before I go to that, Devon, you worked with the National Assembly as a correspondent for a while.
I worked with NTA.
With NTA. Okay. So a National Assembly correspondent for a while. And I know that you're quite, conversant with some of the things that go there. I don't know about now, but then you were. Yeah. Can you relate to why our numbers are dropping? Anything we don't know?
No, this one is not even about the National Assembly. It's about politics in general. And I think Joy has said much of it. One, you need good money. You need good money. Yes, you find the odd politician that managed to make it through without really, but it's rare. It's very rare. For the most part, you need money, even if it's simply for logistics.
I forgot. You actually contested.
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking to the right person.
Yes. Yeah. You need funds, even if it's just for logistics. But it goes beyond that. You have
what are the monies used for? I'm curious.
First of all, I said logistics. You're going to move around a lot to campaign. That you are going to have a train of vehicles following you around. That also helps. Your campaign team.
Is it for security purpose?
Well, you have to show that, first of all, politics is a game of numbers. So you don't show up for campaigns with just you and one random person. The higher up the ladder you plan to go, the bigger your campaign team has to be. So somebody who is running for local government councillor, for instance, you might have just 2 or 3 friends following you around to help you do stuff. But you cannot put that person on the same level as somebody who is running for governor. You are looking at the entire state. You're going to have a campaign manager, the local government area. You're going to have campaign managers per ward, depending on how much money you have. And the more structured you are, the more money you are going to spend. These people that you're sending out, you cannot be everywhere at the same time. Your campaign team has to help you. You will mobilize them. They're not going to bring out money out of their pockets to start transporting themselves around when it is your own ambition that they're running around for. So there's so many things that you have to bring money out for. Okay. Then when it's time for you to buy your form, those forms are not cheap.
Some parties actually make it cheap for women.
Cheaper is different from cheap.
Okay, cheaper, okay.
Okay, so if the gubernatorial form, the form for governorship, is going for 5 million, and they sell it to women for 4 million, is that cheap or cheaper? It's just cheaper. It's cheaper by 1 million, but it's not cheap. And that is also a way of weeding out people that should not be in that space. Yeah. You understand? So it's not, you need money. You need money. You are going to need money also for publicity. Then you will need to oil a few palms here and there.
That's the part.
Yes,
that's where the money is.
No,
all these other ones you are talking.
You're going to need people to be, you're going to need to be nice to people. You're going to need to try to buy people over, you know. Sometimes you can woo people over from the opposing side, from your opponents, even from opposing parties, if you think that there are strong people that you need to have in your corner. You're going to have bodyguards. You will woo everybody. So there's nothing like focusing on women. You want to know what women... There are women that will speak bad of you. There will be men that will speak bad of you. There will be youth that will speak bad of you. Your capacity to carry people along is what you need as a politician, regardless of your sex. You don't go into politics as a woman. You go into politics as a person. And if I'm going to be frank, in my case, I think being a woman at the local level helped me. But at the party level, it caused me issues. Because the electorate didn't mind. They didn't mind. The men didn't mind. The women didn't mind. They were like, listen, we've seen what... And then they named one or two other women that were doing very well for their people. I mean, you guys go out there, you come back, you bring the money, you spend it on us. You're looking after us. You're doing far better than our men. They go there, they start doing something else. They're chasing women, and we don't see them until it's time for the next campaign. But you women, when you go there, you remember us. At the electorate level, they didn't mind. You know,
why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
No, but it's true. I'm just repeating what I heard.
No, it's not the reality. Nobody's angry. We're just laughing.
No, we're just laughing.
You know, so they didn't mind. Men and women alike, they didn't mind. But at the party level, I had some issues. And also, to be frank, being a novice, I made some mistakes naturally at party level. You know, so I need to erase this notion that, oh, I was doing everything so perfectly and the party did not. I goofed in a number of places. If I were to do things afresh, I would certainly have a different strategy.
True. But excuse me, can I say something?
Yeah.
With the you that I know,
yeah,
I think you're like this. You're you're strict.
I am.
So, you see, and I know that in politics, when you are like this,
you go hard.
It's difficult. Let's see.
Which is true.
Yeah, because with politics, you have to go this way, this way, this way.
You have to lie.
The you that I know,
it's straightforward.
You know, and it saddens my heart is that it's people like you that are supposed to be in office because you do the right thing.
You know, there's this Oyibo saying that fools rush in where angels fear to tread, or something like that.
Yeah.
If I had known as much then as I know now about politics, I wouldn't have gone near the place.
Okay.
I went in ignorantly.
Now
I went in as if I was going happy. Yeah, no, seriously.
Because you wanted to serve.
I went in like you go looking for a job.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm qualified. I know how to do this.
Sorry,
I know this. I know this. I know this. But the truth is, my kind of personality doesn't blend well with party politics.
That's chop knock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have the lawyer joining us from Jabi. I don't know, Director, have you been able to establish links? Let's say hello to her. Okay. So good morning, Barrister.
Good morning, Lizzie.
Nice to have you join us.
Team, our viewers, listeners. Really regret all of the challenges that we've encountered this morning.
Don't worry. we're going to make sure that we keep you here for a very long time and you get to answer a lot of questions. But then you also raise another thing, that women refuse to speak because sometimes, or women refuse to be very audible because sometimes they complain of being harassed sexually or something. And that brings to mind what is going on at the moment. You know, I want to have the opinion of the barrister here regarding what is going on, the saga in the National Assembly at the moment. Some people have spoken that the senator shouldn't have come out to say things like that. You know, it wasn't very good because she's already in a high place, you know, and some people say it's okay. But let's see, from the legal perspective, what should she have done? Did she break any law, barrister?
No law that I can immediately think of. Sexual harassment is sexual harassment, and you can raise it. I think what a lot of people have said is, well, about maybe the manner in which, you know, it has been raised. You know, we live in a society where people like to be pretentious. This is unfortunately what it is. And people, even though we say we want women to speak up, a lot of times we actually don't like women to speak up. Yeah. People don't like to appear as though they are being embarrassed and all of that. I've listened to a few people comment, especially members of the Senate as well. Oh, you can't drag the Senate into disrepute. You can't that. She's not alleging anything against the Senate. She's alleging something against an individual. So I don't know how that will now amount to dragging the Senate into disrepute. Granted, there might be some official processes and procedures to be followed, maybe in raising any issue. But a crime is a crime. Sexual harassment is a crime under our laws, especially here in the FCT where the Senate operates. The Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act clearly, you know, identifies sexual harassment as a crime. So she has a right to even go straight to the police to lodge a complaint. She has a right to go straight to the court to file an action, you know. So it all depends on the mechanism she has, you know, decided to adopt. You may have 1, 2, 3, 4 routes to deal with an issue. It is for you as the complainant to decide which one you will follow. So, yes, it may not the optics, which is what our people are always concerned about. Optics, oh, how he looks. They may not like how he looks, but it is her choice. What the law, the obligation that the law imposes on her is to substantiate her allegations.
This is the network service of the NTA. We now join our outside broadcast crew for a live telecast. Please stay tuned.
The National Pledge. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend her unity, and uphold her honor and glory. So help me God. We invite Mrs. Jennifer Bishop for the opening prayer.
Our Heavenly Father, we are gathered here this morning to commission the fire service of Umodumaya, a vital institution dedicated to save the lives and property of Rivers people. we humbly come with a heart of gratitude and thanksgiving. Lord, we thank you on behalf of our governor, his vision and leadership for Rivers people. We pray today that your mercy and your grace will continue to shield him, to keep Rivers people, and to continue to lead us on the side of development and peace. And so, Lord, today we declare this meeting open in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name we pray.
Please be seated.
Okay. It is the day 5 of another round of projects inauguration by the Rivers State government, and here today we are live at the Rumudomaya Fire Service Substation in Obiakpo local government area, one of the largest fire stations in the country. And so on behalf of the outside broadcast crew, I welcome you to this live transmission. My name is Emmanuel Lene. Welcome.
Party leaders and major stakeholders here present. Chairman, River State Council of Traditional Rulers, His Majesty, Eze Chike Waluwodo, DSSRS, JP, Ezioha Apara IV. His Majesty, King Ambassador Dr. Leslie Nyebucheke, Eze Gbakagbaka, Eze Nyerisimbam Orevo, Ezioha III of Evo Kingdom. His Royal Highness, Eze Bright O Akpunonu Nyeweli Rumodomaya, Secretary to the State Government, members of the State Executive Council, special advisors, Chairman, Local Government Service Commission, permanent secretaries, heads of boards, departments, and agencies, distinguished invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Today we commissioned the 3rd fire station reconstructed by the River State government, led by His Excellency, Sir Simnalai Fubara, GSSRS, here in Rumudomaya, the capital of Obiakpo local government area. In addition to the reconstruction of the fire station, the state government will be releasing firefighting vehicles to the fire station here at Rumudomaya. Today's commissioning of state-of-the-art facilities by the River State government, with the special guest of honor here today, Chief Barrister Haniwoko, DSSRS JP, will ensure that the people of River State have a fire service that they can rely on. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, presenting Kola at this epoch-making event, may I invite Eze Gbakagbaka, Ezioha III, accompanied by the Nyeweli Rumodomaya.
Your Excellency, you're welcome to our dear local government area of Obiakpo. Mano, Nyeweli Rumodomaya. Kane ebiala bunde jine bason abekuga naka ambiala na elevu na ele Obiakpo ambeka agwere jika goruka goru na ebekusi aka Chineke gozi na ejika gozi maseji na eroke nruga River State. We are saying that we are presenting this scholar to you, and we ask the Lord to stand on this scholar to give you victory, to give River State victory. I beg you, in Jesus Christ, why? I can't make cow. Governor, of course, also myself. Ameka.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, presenting the welcome address for this event is the head local government administration for Obiakpo, Sam Ichechi Amadi.
Your Excellency, Sir Dr. Siminalaye Fubara, GSSROS, the People's Governor, the Executive Governor of Rivers State. Your Excellency, Your Excellencies here present, all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. I stand here on behalf of the good people of Obiakpo local government area to welcome you, our dear governor, and everyone here present to this important ceremony of commissioning the rehabilitated Rumo Domaya Fire Service Station and the newly purchased firefighting vehicles. Your Excellency, we appreciate you for this initiative, which will no doubt strengthen fire emergency response capacity and save residents of our dear state millions of naira that would have been lost to avoidable fire incidents. Your Excellency, we appreciate you the more because despite the huge distractions and challenges you face in the governance of our dear state, particularly in recent times, you have been strong, you have been focused, you have been resilient, thus rolling out this 10-day program of commissioning of vital, people-oriented projects for the common good. Your Excellency, sir, the people of Obiakpo local government area have therefore mandated me to encourage you to remain undaunted in the face of present adversities, as both the Rivers people and the Almighty God are all on your side. We make bold to say, sir, that no storm lasts forever. This storm must be over. This too shall pass. We see light at the end of the tunnel. And at the end of the day, sir, we believe that good must prevail over evil. And peace shall reign in our dear River State. On this note, we once again welcome Your Excellency and everyone to Obiakpo local government area and urge you all to relax to the time-honored hospitality for which Obiakpo local government area is known. God bless Obiakpo LGA, God bless River State, and God bless Nigeria.
The head local government administration for Obiakpo local government area. And in order to help us relax, they have prepared some entertainment. May we begin by inviting the Rumo Domaya women to perform. Thank you very much, Umodumaya women. Thank you for your performance. Please give them a round of applause as they dance out. Performing next is your Wembe group from Obiakpo local government area. Wembe, please.
Yeah. Open the second mic. Open the second mic.
The Owembe masquerade troupe with their usual colorful display. Let's give them a round of applause as they dance out. Very colorful display. Thank you very much, Owembe masquerade. Thank you once again. Thank you once again. Thank you once again. Once again, a round of applause for the Owembe Cultural Group. Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to present a brief description of the project, we invite the Honorable Commissioner for Special Duties in River State, Honorable Dr. Sam Anya.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of River State, Sir Sibilai Fubara, Grand Service Star of River State. Your Excellency, the former Governor of River State, Sir Celestine Umeya. Your Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of River State, Engineer Tele Ekuru. Your Excellency, our special guest of honor, Chief Barrister Annie Woko, Distinguished Service Star of River State. Let me stand on existing protocol. Your Excellency, a brief description of this facility. This facility was built, the former governor of River State, Rotimi Amici, built this facility many years ago and was abandoned for several years. This is the first time a truck is entering this facility. This facility is built with staff quarters and 54 offices, and it has not been utilized for many years. Your Excellency, you came in on board and you said we must reopen this place. Your Excellency, we have opened it and we have equipped it. The whole facility is now functioning well. You can see it by yourself. If you look at our program, page 9 and 10, you will see the difference that was done. Your Excellency, the people of Ruma Dumaya say I should thank you for bringing this thing back to them. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, also to speak on the project, may we invite the MD, Best and Better Ventures, Dr. Uche Ikpa.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of River State, Sir Sibilai Fubara, permit me to stand on every other protocol that has been established. Your Excellency, first of all, we want to say a very big thank you to you for having given us this opportunity to be a part of this, your success story. Your Excellency, I have discovered one very important thing, and that is to say that every project you carry out here in the state has a direct bearing on the people of River State. And again, His Excellency, when we came in here, this place, like my commissioner said, it has been abandoned for 13 years. And under 2 months, you turn it this way. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, this project, like we see there, we have a 45,000 capacity liter tank that is capable of filling all these trucks. And also, again, we have a solar system, the pump there over 3 horsepower that can feed this pump under 3 hours. Therefore, we assure you that there will be no shortage of water when there is an emergency, because emergency must somehow occur. And again, like he rightly said, we have about 50 rooms, but we have over 6 halls that could be used for conferences. And so this place today, everything you find in there, beginning from the ties, are all new. Up to, you can see the frames and the windows. You can see everything, the protectors. In fact, we even inscribed the name of this place. Therefore, His Excellency, I present to you a renewed, reconstructed, rebranded Ruma Dumaya Sub-Fire Station of the River State Fire Service. Thank you, and God bless you.
Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we commission the renewed, revitalized Rumo Dumaya Fire Service Station, it's a great privilege to invite to present his address our leader who takes pride in ensuring the improved well-being of Rivers people, the Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency, Sir Simnalai Fubara, Grand Service Star of Rivers State.
Sit down, please. Your Excellency, the former Governor of Rivers State, Sir Celestine Omehia, Your Excellency, former Deputy Governor of Rivers State, Engineer Tele Ikru, our special guest of honor, Chief Barrister Anne Woko, distinguished senators that are here, members of the National Assembly, our elders, let me not, if I permit me not to mention your name one after the other, because the sun is really hitting on me badly. The Secretary to the State Government and members of the State Executive Council that are here, the Chairman of the Rivers State Council of Traditional Rulers, the Eze Evo, Eze Baka Baka, and also the paramount ruler of Rumo Dumaya, other royal fathers that are here with us, Permanent Secretary, Head of Departments, Agency, our youth, our women, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I feel very happy again to stand before you to showcase again one of the things that we have done to show that the interest of our people is most important in our administration. There is nothing I want to say now that I have not said before. When we unveil the remodeled headquarters, I did inform you that we have 2 substations that is attached to that. The Borokri station that we unveiled yesterday and this particular one that we're doing today. The essence of this project, you already know. We have to safeguard the life of our people and the property of every citizen of Rivers State, which is the primary function of governance. I want to end it this way. I want to appreciate the people of Obiakpo for your support. I can feel it here. I want to appreciate the support of the good people of Rivers State, believing in us, knowing that your trust is the right thing and that you're standing on the side of truth. I want to appreciate you. I want to assure you that we'll continue to do what is right in our government. Let me, on this note, invite, I don't want to talk much today because it's the same thing I've said the first day said the second day. I don't need to add anything again today. Just to thank God for the opportunity that He has given to us to continue to do this. Let me invite the special guest of honor, who happens to be an indigene. Yesterday, we were privileged to have also an indigene, an aborigine. Today, we are not in aborigine. We're in a... how do they say it, a Landam. So come and talk to the Landam people. Use the language that they will understand, and appreciate them for their support for us, and unveil this project to the glory of God. Thank you, and may God bless us.
Your Excellency, our God-sent Governor, Sir Siminalaye Fubara, JSSRS, Your Excellency, the former Governor of Rivers State, Sir Celestin Omehe, Your Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Rivers State, Engineer Tele Ikru, our father, distinguished Senator John Mbata, distinguished Senator Adawari Pepo, distinguished Senator Lee Meba, and other distinguished senators here present. Our father, Dr. Abie Sekbo, I recognize you. Our father, Chief Sam Jaja, Ambassador Oji Ngofa, I recognize you. Our royal fathers, I recognize you. The Secretary to State Government, the Chief of Staff to Government House, top government functionaries here present, I recognize you. Our dear Obiakpo people, Obiakpo Nderiyama. Your Excellency, permit me to dwell on the already established protocol. Ladies and gentlemen, you are here today in Rumodumaya to witness this epoch-making occasion, the commissioning of this very magnificent building. We all know the importance of well-equipped service station in every state or city. In fact, a state without a functional fire service is partially a failed state, because citizens will rely on the mercy of God when there is fire outbreak. I thank you, our dear Governor. We love you. You are genuinely loved by Rivers people and the Kwere people. This building will serve and secure lives and properties within this area. There's no need to overemphasize that. And we thank you for this very laudable project and others you have continued. Rivers people are feeling your impact in just less than 2 years in office. Every local government has witnessed your impact, sir. and your projects are directly touching on the citizens. We thank you for continuing governance, not minding distractions all over. It's even very, very important to know that at the heat of this time, you are still going about commissioning projects. There are projects lined up for 2 weeks. We have come to serve Rivers State, and be rest assured that Rivers people will protect this democracy, will protect you, sir. There's no pretense about it. The love is organic. And we'll make sure we'll continue to support you. As an Ikwere man, this state gave us the privilege and honor to serve for 16 years and some months without any disruption. Equity demands, fair play demands that we allow our Ijaw ethnic group to serve out their tenures. Be rest assured, Your Excellency, that you have the support of the Ikwere National Ethnic Group. I want to use this opportunity to call on every reasonable Rivers son and daughter. There should be an end to every conflict. Rivers State has been always in the news for the negative, always, and we'll condemn that. We should borrow a leaf from our sister states. The governors are ruling, governing their people. There's no friction anywhere. Yes, in human relations, there may be room for friction. There may be room for quarrel, but the most important thing is to put the state first. No personal interest should override that of the collective interest of the state. And I urge everyone using this opportunity to borrow a leaf from Lagos State. They quarrel, but they still come to round table and sort out their problem, and the state moves on. Rivers State should borrow a leaf from Lagos State. Right now, the state is in more or less turmoil, but to thank God, God will continue to give Your Excellency the grace, the wisdom to manage this crisis. And I'm very, very sure, absolutely sure, that you come off unscathed. You will serve out your 2 tenures as you will serve out your 2 tenures as statutorily provided in our Constitution. Sir, I want to, on behalf of the people of Obiapo, invite you and our leaders to join me as I commission this project to the glory of God Almighty. Your Excellency and our leaders and the good people of Obiapo local government, may I humbly commission this project in the name of God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, for use of humanity. May I humbly unveil this edifice, Rumo Odumaya Fire Service Station, remodeled by the administration of His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubaraji, SSROS, Governor of Rivers State, commissioned by my humble self, Chief Barrister Hani Woko, DSSRS, on this day of our Lord, the 7th of March, 2025, to God be the glory.
The Rumo Damaya Fire Service Substation is one of the 3 fire service stations rehabilitated by the Rivers State government. The Rumo Damaya Fire Station is the largest of it all and arguably one of the largest in the country. After over a decade of being moribund, the Rivers State government thought it wise to rehabilitate it to respond to the incessant fire outbreaks in parts of the state. And so with the inauguration of this substation, it is hoped that fire outbreaks in Rivers State will receive the needed attention. And so that is how it's been for the inauguration of this Rumo Damaya Fire Service Substation located in Obiakpo local government area.
You are with the microphone. You can bring it. If you know you're with the microphone.
And that is how it's been from here, the Rumo Damaya Fire Service Substation in Obiakpo local government area. On behalf of the outside broadcast crew, we now hand you over to Abuja for continuation of other programs. My name is Emmanuel Lene. Thank you for being part of the program.
The national anthem.
In northern region of Nigeria, traditional clothing for men is largely characterized by a kaftan adorned with intricate patterns, a voluminous top babariga in Hausa, a cap at times with turban stylishly wrapped around it, and a pair of shoes. This serves as a general representation of the attire worn and cherished by individual men in this part of the country. However, the world of men's fashion in northern Nigeria is not limited to the simplicity and admiration of these designs. It encapsulates much more. Delving into one of northernmost parts of Nigeria, there lies a group of young men hailing from Madunka, an area renowned for its fashion prowess in Sokoto, one of the northernmost states of Nigeria. They epitomize the fusion of tradition and creativity in their unique designs, garnering the attention of many. While modern machines have made their way into this realm, promising quicker results, traditional techniques remain highly valued here. These aspiring fashion designers dedicate their time and effort conceptualizing and crafting the intricate patterns with their bare hands. With only a needle and thread in hand, they weave their creation, specializing in the artistry of their craft. This iconic and voluminous babariga has always held its allure among those seeking to make distinctive fashion statements. Those who are determined to stand out and can afford the luxury favor the hand-sewn garment. Particularly men from royal backgrounds or high social status take pride in their complete dress code, often consisting of a kaftan paired with trousers accompanied by a voluminous babariga crowned with a cap of choice. However, variations exist within this tradition, each with their own value and personal preference. The choice of materials is subjective along the lines of color, quality, and cost. The design one chooses reflects their desired image, whether it be tradition, wealth, or royalty. The utilization of modern machines can expedite the process of transforming designs into reality within a few hours. However, the true artisans spend 2 to 5 days, and in some cases, even an entire week, to accomplish their masterpieces. These skilled craftsmen rely solely on their hands in twinning the thread with care and precision. Such meticulous creation, especially those woven with the traditional textile industry's renowned sake fabric, exhibit unparalleled quality and rarity, which is perhaps why they are sought after by royalty and those in high status, particularly for significant occasions. The process of creating these exquisite designs entails collaboration. The patterns are meticulously outlined on the fabric by one individual, while another takes over to knit the thread through the metal tool with a pointed end, seamlessly weaving in and out along the patterns until the design is complete. To maintain aesthetic harmony, the thread color must either match or subtly differ from the fabric being worked on. In case the designers embrace a combination of colors, it allows for creative exploration. The designers work swiftly yet meticulously, adhering to specific guidelines, dedicating themselves to each project. Their commitment to cleanliness is unrivaled, ensuring the fabric remains pristine throughout the journey to completion. Their fashion design journey in most cases started at early age, where a designer sews a self-designed pattern while in learning stage. When they attain some skill level, they begin to sew on demand. On this level, these fashion designers have internalized principles of their craft, growing their skills alongside their unwavering passion. Throughout history, these distinctive fashion designers have been adorned by individuals on special occasions. Notably, late Premier of Northern Nigeria, Sir Ahmad Bello, and Nigeria's first Prime Minister, Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, who proudly severally showcased these northern fashion designs on the world stage. The clothing serves as a mark of respect and recognition, even bestowed upon tourists and esteemed guests within the cycle of royalty. The fashion landscape for men in northern Nigeria brings together a rich tapestry of tradition, creativity, and craftsmanship. From the kaftan adorned with intricate patterns to the ardent dedication of the skilled artisans, every detail tells a story. Through the fusion of modern techniques and traditional practices, this thriving industry continues to captivate hearts and minds of all who encounter it.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Sheer adventurism is driving me to go deep into the Onyama mines. It is the biggest coal mine in the whole of South. Well, the coronation of the new Oni is a watershed in the history of the Yoruba land generally, and Ife in particular. Now, because they have a leader now, that will... Gura is a beautiful countryside with awesome landscapes. If something differently would be done to the Nigerian textile industries, that our youth will be employed. Many people that attend the church here can tell you. Service in Olia Rosa is in We are taking a canoe tour of the communities on the bank of River Niger in Kesu. Niger State is magnificent. There is no way it could not be. Perhaps there are no standard metrics to determine magnificence, but the entire ecosystem of this unique environment is a statistics for it. Unless you want to deny that the beauty of nature that the state is not an index of magnificence. Essentially, the state has 10% of Nigeria's landmass. If you think it is massive, remember every inch of it is fertile. That is talking about 76,300 square kilometers of land, of which 80% of it is arable. Niger State also has the largest body of water that can be harvested for agriculture. It is the pathway to two of the nation's iconic rivers, River Niger and River Kaduna. In fact, centuries of intimate relations with these rivers by the local community have made them to coin names for them, especially among the Nupe. River Niger is called Ndaduma, River Kaduna Lavun. In fact, there exists a local government area in Niger State today that is called Lavun, apparently taken from the name of the great river. It exists significantly along its flow areas. Within these river systems are built 4 dams, all designed with the irrigation in mind and fitted with the irrigation component, but their central purpose is to support hydroelectricity power generation. They are Kanji and Jaba in the channels of River Niger, Shirora and Gurara on the channel of River Kaduna. This explains why Niger State is called the power state. It is heartwarming that within this globe, Niger State is blessed with a leadership that is transformational and passionate to make a difference, especially taking over after years of mediocrity in governance.
Because we are working against time, you can see the lag we've had in our years of existence as a state. You can see how our sister states like Bauchi and other younger states like Katsina have come of age. So there's no time to look at time anymore. We have more wealth, we are stronger in terms of our people, in terms of our character, in terms of our natural endowment.
The interplay of events in the natural environment and good governance in Niger State are creating pleasant vibes that are changing lives and creating opportunities for sustainability where hitherto none exist. Life can usually play funny games on man. It has been doing so with the over 5,000 communities in Niger State. It happened that the gifts of River Niger and River Kaduna, phenomenal as they are also major sources of dislocation and discomfort to these communities in many ways, and a source of worry to the government. The most affected are indeed communities along the lines of rivers flow, and also those that are not beyond 50 kilometers from the flow areas. Flood is a recurrent theme in Niger State. No thanks to these 4 active river systems and 4 equally functional hydroelectricity generating dams. No state in the country is that heavy on water, and indeed no part goes under as serious a destructive flood as it does. Over the last 10 years, some 150 communities have been submerged by water, never to rise again. It happened that this year the flooding waters coming direct from the river systems was higher in volume than in the previous years. Again, not less than 5,000 communities were overtaken. In the period leading to October and November, the 4 dams will release excess water to the river channels that perpetually lead to flood in 17 of these 25 local government areas of Niger State, with serious consequences of displacement and destruction of agricultural land, livestock and personal property. Overwhelming and disturbing as these scenarios are, they are nonetheless a factual reflection of the unfolding events which the government systems had to sometimes give a frustrating sigh.
If you say Niger is sinking, it's not going to be an overstatement. We've had floods year in, year out in the past, but we've not had this type before. The overflow from River Niger and River Kaduna has taken a toll from our people. We have lost over, not 3,000 communities to flood. And on the bank of Niger, some communities have been submerged completely. The hyperdeck is trying their best, and NEMA has tried their best, but we want more attention, want more support.
It was end of September, and we were on a mission to visit some 20 riverine communities across 6 local government areas. Abuja, 17 of the 25 local government areas of Niger State, grapple with scourge of flood waters. By the time of this our visit, the first round of flood, which occurred around August and early September, was receding in many communities. Several were still neck-deep in flood waters. At that time, there was still an advisory going around to those communities in close proximity to the river systems that they should abandon their settlement as another round of flood is impending. Its time was mid-October. It is such a picture of gloom, but the communities can overly be indifferent, curiously. Our initial movement is a road trip to communities on the banks of River Kaduna and Niger, in Lavun and Moka local government areas. On our way, one community, Egaji, immediately captured our interest. This community is some 15 kilometers away from active channel of River Kaduna. Yet, perennially, this community is sunk in water from the discharges of this river. During our visit, they were coming out from the flood of late July and August to early September, but the water still leaves behind evidence of its presence. In fact, whenever the flood arrives, the whole town is enveloped in it, and it often reaches high the lengths of their building or even higher. It destroys many of their houses, their livestock, and their farmlands and farm produce. There is no natural river in Egaji, save for the distant River Kaduna, but the people swim to their farmlands and do their household chores with the flood waters that take weeks to go away. There is one peculiar feature of life with the riverine communities in Niger State. Their soil is richly fertile and allows for all year-round agriculture. Yet, hardly do their wet season farming survive flood. However, when it is dry season, they make up richly for what they lost during the rains. They never fail to plant in the wet season, though. When you talk of abiding hope, take to the road to the epicenter of the flood areas, especially in Mokwa local government area. Mokwa is liquid. 70% of its land area is water. Over 300 communities live directly along the flow area of the River Niger and River Kaduna. These people live a checkered life, a charmed life. They never live far away from flood.
It cannot be unconnected to climate change. It cannot be unconnected to the dams that we have in our state, particularly in Mokwa local government. The experience this year is not different from the previous years, but only that this year's one came at the time we are not actually prepared. We don't expect it coming now compared to previous years, because we do experience this around October ending to November. But this year's one happened to have come earlier before the October, because we are still in September at the moment.
This is River Kaduna in all its glory, in Jufu, in Mokwa local government area of Niger State. This river is one of the main culprits in the flooding of communities, not only in Mokwa local government area, but also around Lavu local government area and even Bida local government area. You can see it looks quiet now, but with the every rain, and it rains heavy here virtually every day, it convulses, it overflows, and farmlands, communities are taken away. We followed track of River Kaduna up to a point where we board a boat to some 6 communities that are said to be literally in water. Along our track, our guide told us that we passed several settlements along the way that are not there now. The water has consumed them. When we arrived at our first community, I wondered how long they have to live. As we move, the water looks very beautiful to the eye. A highway to multiple communities, a fishing hub, a source of ecological beauty and disaster. Trying to get a story going via an endless river can be another name for adventure. Well, adventure can be pleasant, but it can also be a sort of fear of the kind. But then, of course, you cannot miss the beauty of where we are. Like I tell you, we are going to link up with the nexus, the confluence of River Kaduna and River Niger. But even as we are making that movement, just look back. Look at the distance we are covered in this river. It looks so beautiful, especially with the sun going down. So it has illuminated the area and given it a kind of color that is not only beautiful, but also aesthetic, an aesthetic thing. So it's just that kind of beautiful. But then we are going to the communities that have been most hit by flood, and then we are going to give you what life they are living differently, because they are living close to this overflowing rivers, and that is as dangerous as they are living. The first community we came into contact with is called Jufu. This community and another community adjoining it are body and soul engulfed by water. The rivers have taken away more than 3/4 of their land area. They continue to hang to a strip of land that is sure to disappear soon. Some 10 settlements that once flourished around this confluence have gone with the water. The people only make reference of their existence at a point in time. They are reduced only to human memory. The village head of the community told us that more than 100 of his community members have left the village. Those with no option camp at the only primary school serving the community. Living with these rivers makes sure their children have no regular school attendance. The people live with their livestock and all at this place. Save for a tiny strip of dry land, all of Jipu is deep in water. You cannot go around the town except by boat. People walk in water to access their rooms. This man, Malam Mahmoud, opens his room to show us how waterlogged it is and how his family bed is on top of water. They never had a quiet sleep.
We seriously fear for our lives. Our bushes are flooded. Our beds are on water. You have seen my room. It is in water. And we cannot go anywhere because we have nowhere to go. Our cropping was drowned in water. And even the fishing we do, there is no fish.
The The flood water is the main source of drinking water for all the riverine communities, not only Jifu. It is handy for their domestic chores. They answer the call of nature and eat, and bury their dead likewise. It is a Nabi life. You have to be there to understand better. It does not help that they are located mostly in areas that are not easily accessible. President, it's like flooding is a way of life for you people, and you are farmers. It affects your land, it affects your agriculture, it affects your people. How do you cope?
Minimal flood can be a way of life, but when it becomes much, it's no longer a way of life.
Did it surprise you?
Not surprised because of predictions that we've been hearing.
Okay.
But it's anytime it comes, it becomes a new thing.
Okay, so how new it is this year? What makes it different?
Because it has destroyed our farmlands, our animals, people that keep cows at home, and the goats, all those were washed away, and the farmland, a lot of farmlands were washed away.
Mr. President, do you make an estimate of that? How much are we talking about?
Well, we are talking of billions. Small rice farm now is million. Now then we are talking of a community starting from Jebba down to Babaro area, a distance of more than 100 kilometers, and with over 200 communities and settlement living there.
Riverine communities in Moka local government area can be amazing. We have seen the people of Jifu. They are literally in water. Their rooms, their houses, they do everything in water. They have their toilet in water. They have their beds in water. But you know what? They look contented. They don't seem to be in a serious, worry. Well, I'm worried for them, but they do not, when you ask them and say, what do they do? They don't have nothing to do. They don't have alternatives. But then, of course, they are complaining that they are losing their crops. They are losing their livestock. They are losing their houses. But then, why won't they look for alternative? But they say, what better alternative do they have? But now, we are moving to another community. From Jijipu, we are going to, what other community do you say? Gogifu. Now, Gogifu too, we are using a smaller canoe to go to Gogifu. Gogifu too is a land in water. We are going to see how much in water they are. The village is 360 degrees in water. Rains or discharges from the dams never fail to overwhelm them. They are in constant motion between wholesale migration with rising water levels and return when it subsides. Our craft is small and the water levels can be volatile, especially with the late evening setting in. We quickly paddle to our boat where we connect with the main nexus of the two rivers.
Where we just left now is a village called Jifu, and the other one we also went to, the second one is called Bogifu, before coming to the confluence where the rivers meet.
So they are, these two communities are in the confluence?
Yes, these two communities are in the confluence.
Okay.
And much more affected by this overflowing of
okay, you mean the connection of the two rivers, the confluence has been the major reason why?
Yes. Why these people, that is Bogifu and Jifu, they are most attempts hit by this river. And lastly, again, we have Muregi just very close to us here. Believe you me, they share the same thing as Jifu and Bogifu are sharing. Obviously. The pain of overflowing of these two rivers, the pain these people are sharing is the same thing that the headquarters of Kede Kingdom are also feeling. That is Muregi town.
Some areas, some places have been identified for resettlement of some of these communities. One, we have like Muregi new resettlement, we have Quechua new resettlement, and a proposed Mambe new resettlement. These resettlement centers catered for so many communities. Taking example for Muregi, we have about 12 adjoining communities that are going to be resettled there. And if you look at Quechua, we have about 4 to 5 communities that are going to be resettled there. At the moment, Muregi resettlement is housing about 13 communities to be resettled there. And at the moment, like I say, High Paddock Commission are putting up structures there, about 120 housing units there, so that for people to have a shelter.
The resettlement drive is noble, but the riverine communities in Niger State are in hundreds and extensive. On day 2, we visited some 6 communities in the bank of River Niger in Lapai local government area. There are 42 communities along the river channel. 28 are close-door neighbors with the main river. It is another day, and we are in another point in Niger State. This place we are in Agwanu, and we are in Gurara water, which is a river itself. Water environment can be a wonderful environment, and you can see it allows the people of the community to do their transport, to do their fishing, to do their agriculture. But generally there is one thing. Water is like the proverbial story of the dead mackerel by moonlight. It stinks and shines at the same time. We actually visited these riverine communities late September. By then there were notices going around for an impending flood from the release of excess water from Kanji, Jeba, Zingero and Gorora dams by middle of October. As we speak, all of the communities we visited that time are now overwhelmed with the flood waters. All their members have taken refuge elsewhere, together with their livestock and what they could salvage of personal property. We visited communities like Kokoji, Rakapa, and Rakabu. During that visit, the water levels were already rising, and we could see water extending to hitherto dry land, a precursor to the major inundation, obviously. One peculiar situation with these riverine communities is that they are sandwiched by river system, so when the flood arrives, it embeds them from all sides. Sometimes family members are trapped and lost. As a matter of fact, during the visit, there was not a single community that is not already cycled by the river system. We saw some distant communities that are already neck deep in water also. The curious thing, however, is that this is a life that the people go through every year, except that this year a lot of things are different.
It is sympathetic, and it is what we are facing every year. You see, by October, before the middle of October, all here will be ravaged by the flood. And we've been appealing to the government, state and federal, to please relocate them permanently to where they will have shelter, so that all this issue of coming back to here should be a history of the past. And that is our prayer always, because we know it always is as a permanent, constant happening. It will happen today, and next year it will happen, another year it will happen.
What makes it happen? This is not the thick of rainy season. Rainy season is going away, and you are telling me that there is going to be river to take away the people.
No, we are taking the pains of the river Niger, the dams being drilled in Niger State, Kainjin, Jeba, and the Shiroro. The pains come back to the community, we the masses here in Lapai local government.
Authorities in Mina and major stakeholders are now looking for ways to save these communities from the heavy load they incurred through the flood this year, which is a standout here. At the center of reference is how to relocate all these communities to higher ground to save them from perennial losses of life, property and land spaces for absence of where to relocate.
The situation in Niger State is alarming, and that even if the whole income of Niger State for the next 10 years is invested on that, will not be able to address the challenges. So I think the situation should be given serious attention by the federal government, and it should be given more attention by international communities. Most of these communities, unfortunately, you just mentioned 200, but by our count, there are over 400 to 500 communities that are always threatened whenever there is flooding, whenever there is rainfall, and that most of these communities do not have anywhere else to go.
It is particularly a testy situation for Niger State Governor Umar Mohamed Bago, who, in the face of heavy commitment to transform his state to a new London, is confronted with a major humanitarian crisis arising from dislocation of hundreds of communities through flood.
The Vice President was here some days back, to review what is going on. So we are just hoping that we'll have a lot of federal presence at this point in time. It's a trial time for us. And we have also outbreak of cholera as a result of these floods, because some of the sewage systems are shallow, and with the flood, everything has now popped up. That again we are facing, and it's taking a toll. Our hospitals are stretched, Potable drinking was a problem.
It was a particularly bad year for flood in Niger State. For while the major rivers and their dams were unsettling and submerging communities, a rather quiet river in Sabon Fegi, Mashegu local government area, had gone through bouts of convulsion and brought about major destruction. Experts fingered climate change as a major cause. It was called River Mayara, and locals say the last time it ever flowed was 30 years ago. When it did this year, it brought down over 100 houses. Sabon Fegi is a land of people who elevated fish farming to an art. More than 200 people are involved, and investment into the business is more than 800 million naira. That investment was completely wiped out by the flood. The people only look at the ponds where they used to net their fish with despair. There are over 1,000 such ponds.
There are 40 ponds, yeah. And the flood affected all. We can't even acquire one inside.
What happened when the flood came? You were not around, or what?
I'm around, but it's overpowered us. We can't even face it at all. We can't even near the flood at all. It packed all our ponds. We don't have any even one to stand on now.
I have nothing less than 12 ponds here.
12 ponds?
Yes, exactly.
Were you able to retrieve anything from you?
Nothing. Everything just went together with the flood. So the havoc actually left us with nothing right now. Nothing to write home about.
The flood from this river also cut off an important bridge, crucial for sustained electricity supply to the country from Kanji. It is the main link between strategic electricity supply facilities and Kanji and the world outside. It sees sustained traffic of equipment, resources and personnel to Kanji, a mere 2 kilometers away. The bridge is also the main window to the southwestern Nigeria by motorists from especially Kebbi and Sokoto state. It cut their travel time by almost 4 hours, should they take alternative route. By the time we visited Sabon Fegi, it had gone through an emergency repair, but it still needs to be definitively fixed.
Because this is just a temporary work. This cannot take a lot of time to collapse again.
It is only this year that we had experience of cutting of the bridge. And precisely the devastation along that river Manyara affected so many businesses, affected fishery communities. We have their report in the office here that they are willing, they want us to also give them a succor because they have lost over 800 million naira. The miners along that Manyara also lost a lot of resources. We are in picture and most of them are submitting their requests for intervention.
Because the flood is making people poor.
Yeah, definitely is making people poor. Yes, and the effort of the commission is we are touching several communities in Niger State. In Borugu, where you are talking about is between Mashegu and Borugu local government. Exactly. And most of the communities there were being resettled.
Niger State is big.
This is the network service of the NTA. We now join our outside broadcast crew for a live telecast. Please stay tuned.
Good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto, the seat of the Caliphate. This is NTA Network, bringing you live the inauguration of Sultan Muhammad Machido Juma'at Mosque being remodeled and upgraded by the current administration of Sokoto State. The Sultan Muhammad Machido Mosque along Emir Yahya Road in Sokoto Metropolis was popularly known as Yelwa Garden Mosque. It is among the 36 greater Juma'at mosques across Sokoto State being awarded for upgrading and remodeling by the administration of His Excellency, Dr. Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto FCNA PhD, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State. So far to date, 7 mosques have been completed in remodeling and upgrading process. And this is the 7th, which is going to be inaugurated officially by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, Dr. Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto FCNA.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم إني أسألك بأني أشهد أنك أنت الله لا إله إلا أنت الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث. يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. يا أرحم الراحمين يا رب العالمين. Allah muna tosili suna ka kyawawa da siffofin ka maɗaukaka. Allah ka taimaki mai gima gwamna. Allah ka taimaki gwamnatinsa. Allah ka sanya alkhairi ga al'amuransa. Allah ka ƙara ba shi hikima da hazaƙa da basira wajen gudanar da wannan mulki na wannan jiha. Ubangiji wannan haɗuwar da aka yi Allah ka sa a yi lafiya a ƙare lafiya. Allah ka sanya mata albarka. Allah ka ƙara ka mana zaman lafiya a cikin wannan jiha da wannan ƙasa baki ɗaya. Allah ka taimaki mai alfama sarkin musulmi. Allah ka sanya mashi albarka. Allah ka ba shawara za ta amfani musulmi baki ɗaya. Allah ka taimaki mai girma da sanata Aliyu Magata ga dama mako. Allah ka ba shi lahiya ga jikinsa. Allah kokarin gare ka na ganin cewa jihar Sokoto ta ci gaba. Allah ka taimaka masa. Allah ka ƙara kawo mana zaman lahiya a cikin wannan jiha. Allahumma ahsin aqibatana fi umuri kulliha wa ajirna min khizyi dunya adhab al-akhirah. Allahumma izz al-islam wal muslimin wa ajil ash-shirk wa mushrikin wa dami a'da din. اللهم حبب إلينا الإيمان وزينه في قلوبنا وكرر إلينا الكفر والفسوق والعصيان واجعلنا من الراشدين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
That was opening prayer by the Sokoto State Grand Kadi, Kadi Shoaibu Sodange Acheda.
Your Excellency, the Executive of Sokoto State, Ahmad Ali Sokoto, PhD, FCNA. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Engineer Idris Muhammad Gobir, the Honorable Minister for Employment, Labor and Employment, Alhaji Muhammad Megari Dingadi, Katukan Sokoto, Honorable Speaker, Sokoto's House of Assembly, Right Honorable Tukuru Balabo Dinga, members of the legislature here with us, the Sokoto's Chief Judge, Justice Muhammad Said Sifawa, the Honorable Grand Kadi, Sodangi Shoaibu Achida, Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Sokoto State Chapter, Honorable Isa Sadiq Achida, Secretary to the State Government, Muhammad Bello Sifawa, Chief of Staff Government House, Sokoto Amir Haluko MNI, Chairman Sokoto South Local Government, Honorable Yao Muhammad Nanda, members of the Executive Council here with us, members, special advisors, senior special assistants, our esteemed ulamas here with us, Professor Mubtuli Shehu Kabara of the Department of Arabic, Bayero University, Kano, other distinguished eminent scholars, security operatives here with us, my colleagues in the pen profession, very good afternoon to you all. Your Excellency, this event that is about to unfold here is now being watched on TVC. It is also on NTA. It is also on Alu TV and so many FM stations in Sokoto. So we are being seen live, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, without taking much of your time, I would like to start by inviting the Sokoto State Commissioner for Religious Affairs, Associate Professor, to start by inviting the chairman, the host chairman, Sokoto South Local Government, Honorable Yao Muhammad Nanda, to come forward for a welcome address. Allah ya taimake ka kamar yadda ake gani yau mun zo wannan wuri ne kaddamar da wannan aiki da wannan masallaci wanda gwamnatin jihar Sokoto a ƙarƙashin mai girma gwamnatin jihar Sokoto Dr. Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto. A gurguje kuma zan gayyato shugaban karamar hukumar mulkin Sokoto Kudu inda nan ne wannan masallacin yake domin ya zo ya yi jawabi na maraba. Akarmakallahu.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على النبي الكريم صلى الله على محمد ما هو آله إنما الأعمال بالنيات وإنما لكل امرئ ما نوى ما girma gwamna Dr. Ahmad Aliyu Sokoto, mai girma mataimakin gwamna Idris Muhammad Gobir, mai girma ministan samar da ayyuka na ƙasa Baba Katuka, mai girma shugaban majalisar dokoki ta jihar Sokoto, Tukur Balabo dinga sauran shugabanni da suke a nan, Assalamu alaikum. Na farko mai girma gwamna muna wa Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala godiya da ya kaddari ya ba da iko ka ba da aiki na gyaran wannan masallaci. Sannan muna godiya gare shi bisa ga baiwa da ya muna ya ba mu kai a matsayin gwamna. Wannan ba ƙaramar baiwa ta Allah ya yi mutanen jihar Sokoto ba ta kowane ɓangare, domin kowane ɓangare wanda ya shafi rayuwa ta al'ummar jihar Sokoto ba ka taɓo ba kana aiki a kai ne. Sha'anin addini da yake cikin ajandojinka guda tara shi an na biyu, to yanzu ma kusan a ce sha'anin addinin ya zama shi an na ɗai, babu abin da ka sama gaba kamar ka ga ka taimaki addini taimako da kuma waɗanda ka jagorancin sha'anin addini. Mai girma gwamna, wannan shi ya nuna irin tarbiyya wadda Allah ya kaddara ka taso da tun daga gidanku, ka samu tarbiyya ta ƙware wadda ta sa addini ya shiga cikin rayuwarka, addini ya zama gaba gare ka, yanzan kana iyakacin ƙoƙarinka na haga ka samu dama domin ka taimaka ma addini, kuma Allah ya baka wannan damar, kuma taimakon na addini ya bayyana.